Hey traders, John Howell here. Today, I have a couple of things. Firstly, I want to give you a market update. Secondly, I want to share something when it comes to the crypto market that we can learn lesson as a trader. And then thirdly, I want to share with an article that I recently sent my private clients. And I want to share what I said with them because I think it's going to really help you as a trader trade this market. So let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty traders, so my whole intention in this video today is just, I really want to help you become a really good trader. Okay. Because I know if you become good at trading, right, the money will follow. And I'm going to talk about that in just a minute. But traders, make sure you grab my breakthrough trading course. I'm actually giving away free access to it. It's like a full complete trading course, like 5 phases and in-depth detail from chart reading to trading systems to mindset, all that sort of stuff. Okay, so just go to johnsfreegift.com or there should be a link in the description. Go get that, and it's going to really help you become a really good trader. So let's have a quick little market update, and then I want to share something that happened with the crypto market, and then I'm going to share that story that I shared with my private clients recently to really sort of help you guys when it comes to your trading. So let's actually start off with, we'll do the rounds. We'll look at gold and silver and stuff like that as well too. So firstly, we can see that the market is actually starting to fail right here. And this was always the danger of trying to pick a bottom in this market. And it's something I'm going to talk about with the Bitcoin chart. But the big thing is that the best trades are always trading with the trend, right? Because we trading against the trend, and this is something that our ego is trying to do, right? We're trying to pick bottoms, we're trying to pick tops, we're trying to go against the forces of the markets. And as we know, like trying to pick a top and bottom, you're going to be wrong 8, 9 times out of 10. Why not flip that on its head so you can be right 8, 9 times out of 10 and just go with the market, right? Let the market do the talking, not our egos and so on and so forth. So that's where, like with me and my private clients, I have a trading system that I walk through 4 different steps that I look for in a really good quality setup. And the rule number 1 for me and my private clients is always trade with the trend. Why? Because even if I squeeze this S&P chart up, if you look at this here, where are the most highest probability trades? Just going back, say, from the highest probability trades, but also where are the highest probability chances of making a big move over here? This side from this point through here, not from this point here to here. Where is it? It's with the trend, right? As the trend's going up, the highest probability trades have been long trades because you never know how far these pullbacks are going to last, right? Pullback, 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 and pullback. So we can see that and that's where like trading against, we find the overall trend and we just go with that because we never know, the pullback could last 3 or 4 days and then boom, it goes back to another big move again, right? So the best trades are always what? The best trades are always with the trend. Now there's a lot more details to that, but the rule number 1 for us and for me is always trade with the trend because 1, it gives us the best probability, but also secondly, it gives us the best probability of what? Capturing and hopping on the highest probability of capturing big moves. You got these small pullbacks, big moves, small pullbacks, big moves, small pullback, big moves. Make sense? Same thing through here, right? We had this small little pullback and we had this very big move through here. We had small little pullback and then a big move through here. So it's always, rule number 1 is always trading with the trend. And as we can see by looking at the S&P 500, is that it's not over right now. And the thing is I'm looking at is, this is what I actually put up on my YouTube videos the last couple of days. I've been saying this is the danger point for where we are right now, because the market in the past over the last 6 months has rejected this whole 4,200 area down to basically where it is right now, right? Or basically, yeah, just around that sort of 4,130 to 4,200, right? That whole area, support. That whole area is now testing as resistance. So that's all maybe she wrote. You know, Murder She Wrote. Leave a comment below, guys. Do you guys remember Murder She Wrote? For you guys that are probably like in your 20s, you're like, Murder She what? I'm sure I'm my age now. Murder She Wrote. My dad used to love that. Watching it. So, anyway, so we could see that's what's going on there. So we're actually starting to reject this point right now. So we have been coming back down. We have been coming back up, and now we're actually getting a rejection point where we are right now. So this is where, again, this is where it's dangerous trying to go long here, because we don't know. This could just be it, right? We could just be getting down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, and then we could just be getting something like that again, right? So the overall, if we squeeze our charts up, and this is what I like to do, I like to get from a big picture perspective. See, if I zoom in right now, I'm getting the small little highs and lows, but the true picture is the major highs and major lows, right? So what I mean is, as you can see, look at this here. So this was a major, so we go from a major high down to a major low, major high, major low, major high, major low. See that there? So we actually were getting this stair-stepping fashion, and now we're actually right at this level of resistance. So maybe that's all she wrote, and we're going to start to head back down again. So again, trying to pick a bottom right now. What is the best time to try to buy the markets? All right, let's actually, if we're looking to buy the markets, all right, John, here we go. We're going to get going. I was talking to a guy yesterday, and he's got, right now, he's long the markets, 100% of his portfolio on a leverage ETF. And he's hoping the Nasdaq is going to make it's going to run for a new high. That's what he's hoping. And he's long the market. Like, come on, guys. No, please don't. Okay, no. Okay. We're in a downtrend. We're not in an upward trend. If we want to wait for at least some sort of activity that we're going to start to see some sort of an upward movement, what would we see? Let's actually just go back to the vid crash, right? And we'll be able to see this. Because this is the rule number one, and anything else, indicators, who gives a crap about that, right? The market, the main thing is what? The market. So keep the main thing, right? And then the other stuff is external. Moving averages, stochastics, RSIs, MACDs, all this other funky dunky stuff. That's all what? Secondary. That's secondary to what? The main thing. The main thing is the market. All that stuff is derived from the main stuff, from the main thing. So why not, let's actually analyze the main thing first, and then we can start to add some other stuff, right? So we have a high, lower high, and a lower high. Who's in control? Sellers. But look what happened here. Lower low, lower low. Oh, look at this here. Higher low. And as soon as it broke there, guess what? Oh, maybe we're starting to what? Maybe we're starting to change trend, right? Because what? Now we're getting a higher low. Maybe wait for something like this first. And then we can start to do that there. Obviously have a bit of a stop in place as well. And then maybe we can see an upward move from there. But when the market's going down like it is right now, like, you may be right and you may be wrong. 9 times out of 10, you're going to be wrong. Just be patient, okay? People are like, I want to get in early. I want to get in right now. All right, I want to get in early. And people are like, oh, but the market has changed, John. Like, no, the market hasn't changed. It's just like, it's important when you're trading that you're actually trading a setup that no matter what the market is doing, you can do quite well. So it's at a dangerous point right now, and we may be rejecting this point before we start to run down. So anyway, I hope that makes sense through there. Looking at the Nasdaq, we haven't even actually, we had a little resistance through here, but we didn't actually even get to my resistance target. So this is point through here. And then we have this sort of level all through here as well too, right? Support. Coming support through here, breaking back down. Now we're breaking back up. Guess what this all is? Guess what this all could be? This could just be another little fake out before we start to see it. Remember, the trend is down, guys. The trend is down. And if you're confused about the trend, take everything off the screen, go back, bring up a weekly chart, and then start to look at that, right? That's going to make it much more clear and easier for you to see. Where is the true trend? Higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. What happened here? Broke down to there. What is this? Low. This is the lower low. Ran up. Lower high. Now we're doing this. What's probably going to come next? Possibly something like that, right? The market's talking to us right now. And until we get something like this, we may get a run up and then maybe start to move from there. Until we get something like that, the major trend is changing, right? Again, you can use the daily charts as well too for that as well too. Let's go have a look at the good old gold and silver market. So gold's actually developing quite an interesting pattern right now, and interesting. Let me share with you, okay? Let me tell you a story. Peanut butter and chocolate cake. I don't know where that came from. Anyway, so we can see that if I let me actually take that off the screen there, and I can see erase. So I can see that this whole area through here, probably a bit higher than that. See that area through there? This whole area back here. So we had this major rejection point through here. We had a little bit of confluence around February this year as well too. Confluence, what I mean by confluence, if you're not sure about that, is it actually had a lot of activity around this area through here. That's what confluence. This one here was a complete rejection, right? This one here had a lot of activity around it before it actually broke through. That's what I'm saying there. And plus also we had a lot of support there. Now we're testing this as resistance. But this is what I'm looking at right now. If I'm looking for a bullish case scenario, then this is what I'm looking at by looking at the markets. Okay. So the first thing would be this. The first thing is that yes, we did get a move down, but we actually maybe changing the trend. We need to see confirmation first, but we may be starting to change the tune in gold. What do I mean by that? So we had a strong move down and we've had a move up, but look what's happening here. We're actually getting this sort of action right now. We're not getting like a complete strong move down. Now that could still happen, right? We still could get something like this. Bam, 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 bam. And it just continues rolling over, high, lower high, and down we go. Now, that's a possibility, right? That's why we don't just, let's get in now. Let's get it ready to rumble. Like, no, not yet. Okay. Not yet. Wait for confirmation. Be patient. Just like that guy. I was talking to that guy yesterday who's 100% long on a leveraged ETF in the market right now. Like, just be patient. Wait for the right time, okay? Just be patient. Wait. Again, in that trading course, the very first video you're going to learn is all the biggest mistakes you're making right now, but also how to overcome them as well. I told you how to overcome them, so you can actually just stop doing the mistakes you're making right now and actually start to not. When you don't make the mistakes, you actually make more money. So that's the very first video you get. Then it's chart reading mastery, advanced chart reading, my trading systems, and scanning the markets and all that sort of stuff. Anyway. So let's go look at this here. So now, but what happens? Let's just say, for example, we did get this, okay? Now, I'm not saying this is going to happen. I know you gold bugs are like, here we go. John said it's going to go up. No, okay? Listen to the markets. What happens if we did this tomorrow? Nothing. Oh, John, you said it was going to go up. Did I? No, I said it may continue down, but if it's going to go up, we're probably going to start to get a bit of confirmation of something happening, right? So what if that happened tomorrow? Nothing. And what if it did that? Nothing, right? We're still doing what? We're still up, but notice how we're going sideways. We're not going down strong. But then what happens if we get something like this after that? Oh, hang on a minute. Okay, let's analyze what the market's telling us right now. Ego and fears and emotions and doubts, you can be put aside right now. See my coffee right there? You can go in that. Actually, no, you don't go in that because I'm about to drink it. I've actually got a coffee right next to me. I haven't had my coffee this morning, but maybe some people don't. You don't need it, John. I've actually just this morning, I got up. Right now I'm doing this recording at 7:30 in the morning, and I got up at 4 a.m. this morning. I did my morning routine, which is a glass of lemon water, then I have a bit of a caffeine, and then I do a bit of stretching, foam rolling, and then I do an 8K run while listening to motivational stuff and so on and so forth. Anyway, higher low, breaking past previous highs. What does that mean? So again, guys, this is where trading is all about what is the market doing and telling us right now. Not like what we think, hope, or fear. Oh, but John, the inflation's going to destroy everything. Oh my goodness, gold's going to go up. Okay, yes, that's big picture, right? Overall, that happens. That filters through the system. Not like inflation's high today, that means gold's going to explode today. No. Okay, if you're a trader, let's bring it back to the main thing, right? The chart. What would that be? Now we're starting to what? Low, higher low, break past. If we get something like that, now the tune could be changing because now we could be getting something like this as well too, right? Like that'll be the high point through there, and that'll be a breaking of that point through. Now we're getting a higher low breaking past these levels through here. So that could also be a time to start seeing what? Potentially an upward move from there. So that's where we're actually developing an interesting pattern right now when it comes to the gold market. Let's go have a look at good old silver. Silver. So the silver, that's the major low point through there with silver. You can see silver actually had a flush down and then a flush back up, and now we're actually getting a bit of a pullback right now. So it's going to be really interesting to see what goes on with silver right now. Do we develop Same sort of thing when it comes like with gold, right? Do we develop something like this and then we get a breakout? Because this is exactly what actually happened in the vid days. I remember I traded this. Let me go back to the vid days. There we go. The vid days. Look at this here. So what happened? We actually had the exact same thing that happened back in here. So we had this point through here, and as you can see, look, see these major lows point through here. There we go. Right. See this major low, major low, major low, and it flushed down and it came back up. And then guess what it started to do? Look at this here. So it came back up, and then we started to do what? We came back up, and then we started to do this overall sort of sideways movement, right? And then we actually broke out. It was actually a little bit here as well too. Broke there, and then we started to move up. So when looking at silver right now, maybe this is history repeating itself. Maybe, just maybe, we're going to start to get the exact same thing. We got what? We got the flushing of the low, just like we did back in the vid. Now we've got the move up. Maybe we're going to do this again, just like it did back in the vid days. And then maybe we're going to get a breakout through there. And if that's the case, and we get something like that, guess what, traders? That actually could start to at least start a short-term move, right? Not a big long-term move, because the overall big trend is still down. But that actually could spark off. That could start to spark off at least a bit of a rally in the markets, which may turn into something new in the markets. Let's go have a look at the GDX here. GDX is actually not looking too good right now. We're still in a very big, strong downward trend. Down, week up, strong down, week up, strong down, week up. So we could get something like that when it comes to the gold market through there. So I want to talk about something with Bitcoin. And guys, I'm not anything I say about Bitcoin is I'm doing it from a teaching perspective, okay? It has nothing to do with Bitcoin, and it has everything to do with how the markets work and to give you the best chance of succeeding in the markets, okay? So I'm going to talk about that, and I'm going to talk about the one thing that I talked about with my private clients here. So whenever we get, what happened with Bitcoin here? We can see that see this big up bar? Why is this failing today? What is the number one thing that I've said today? If you're looking at this chart here, what is the number one thing that I have said today that you should be focusing on when trading? Okay. What is the one thing? The trend, right? The trend is your friend, and never trade against it. So the thing is that when we get this sideways movement and up, and by the way, guys, in phase number 2 in that trading course, I go through, it's a 30 or 40 minute video walking you through the top chart reading techniques, just like this stuff I'm teaching right now in phase number 2. So link in the description, guys, go get it for free, all right? You have nothing to lose. So we can see we have this up candle through here. So why did this up candle fail? Oh my goodness, it's getting ready to take off. Big explosion, double bottom, blah, 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 right? Why did this completely fail today? Because of the trend, right? We never trade against the trend. And because we just never know when that's going to end, right? The trend is your friend until the end. So we have a move down, a lower high, some sort of lower high through here. We've come back down, and now we're just gone sideways. So who's in control? High, lower high, lower high. We could be getting what? We could be getting another lower high here real soon. So yes, we may have just done that as well too, like that. And then it does that, and then it rolls back over. It's like, oh man, this market is rigged. I can't believe it. I just lost money again. No, because you're not understanding how markets work. All markets work. When we start to have a trend, either up or down, okay? If we've got a clear movement on a downside like we have here, lower highs, then trying to go long on a breakout, that's called a fake out. That's not the market being manipulated. That's not the market changing. That's called you being a shit trader. Let's just call it for what it is. And I'm not saying that from a harsh perspective. I'm just saying that's what they do. Amateurs that are only part of the markets for a year or two, traders, I've been doing this for 17 years. And my first 5 years, it took me so long to actually figure out, oh, that's why that failed. Oh, here we go, breakout candle. It's going to start to run. Oh, and then it fails. Like, why did it fail? Because we're trading against the trend. And the big guys and the amateurs, yes, they suck the 90% of people in, right? That's what they do. And I guarantee a lot of people would start to go, oh, here we go. It's got to start to move. And then we completely fail today. So please don't trade against the trend. Now, the last thing I want to share with you is an article that I wrote. And I want to read this to you, okay? Hear me out. So let me just bring up this chart here. So one thing I want to leave you with is this story, okay? Let me start now. You have the thing and you have money. So the thing is whatever you're doing to get the money. And this is a big thing to understand. You have the thing and you have the money, okay? The thing is whatever you're doing to make the money. In this case, trading the markets. A lot of traders start trading to make money, but they suck at trading, at least when they start. They go from course to course to course, jumping around and never getting good at understanding these markets. They never get good at understanding these markets. What is a good setup? What goes into being a good trader? They all matter, right? Understanding the markets is one. What goes into what goes into a good setup is another one. What goes into you being a good trader is another one. And that's, again, in my free trading course, that's where I'll walk you through these things, what goes into a good trader and so on and so forth, right? And then I said, obviously, and this is a letter to my clients, right? I said that you are, because you're part of this group. But then let's continue here. The article continues, says, they never get good at the thing, right? Which is trading. So they never make the money they want. Their whole focus is on making money and not being a good trader, so the money does not come. Let's take an athlete for an example, right? Let's just say Roger Federer for an example. Roger Federer makes millions and millions of dollars because he's one of the top tennis players to have ever played. Roger Federer spends hours and hours and hours per day getting good at one thing, playing tennis. And because he's so good at that, money comes. The point, get so good at the one thing, which is the stuff that I teach here, the stuff that I've been talking about today, rule number one, which is trend. Again, if you're looking to learn all the details about my trading system, I give that away for free in that free trading course. So you'll be able to see the number one, my actual setup that I use. Okay? So get so good at the one thing, get so good at these markets, get so good at trading, and the money will come. But if you're just focusing on making money, but you're shit at trading, you're shit at the thing, then you won't make the money. So see how that's an imbalance there. If you're like, oh, I'm coming here to make money. Okay, yeah. But let's actually put the money aside. Let's actually get you focusing on being a good trader, right? What goes into being a good trader? He's consistent, he's disciplined, he's patient. We know that sort of stuff, okay? But then also he has a system, he has an approach. He's been a professional trader. If you actually want to make really good money from trading, then we must have some sort of a approach, right? It's not like Warren Buffett opens up, he looks at a company and says, you know what, this company's oversold today, I'm gonna go buy it. Like, no, right? He has what? He probably has a step-by-step checklist system of how he filters out these companies for when he's looking to buy stocks. And that's the same thing for you as well too. So my point here is spend a lot of time getting good at the one thing, okay, which is trading. If you're a trader, then you must get good at getting good at reading the charts. The better you can read the charts, the better trader, because a trader is a short term. A trader is not, well, inflation had a high number today, so I'm going to trade gold because gold's going to take off today. That's not how it works. Inflation is an overall number, okay, and an overall thing. So it's an overall picture, which may take a while for it to feel that number to hit the market, or maybe it's already baked into the market already and we just don't know about it. Make sense? But trading, that level of skill to be a good trader for income, requires you to have a setup based off what the market is telling us and not our ego. And that's what I talked about today. I talked about today in a result of the biggest mistake that I've made in my 17 years trading these markets has always come from my ego and me opposing, me putting onto the market what I want to see, right? So just like, for example, I spoke to a guy recently and he's got 100% long in the markets right now on a leverage ETF. And he's looking for any reason why he's right in the markets. And so he wants to look for any reason. But the thing is, the number one thing is what? The market. The market is going down. And until the market changes trend, the market's going to continue going down. So right now, his ego and his hopes, and now guess what he's doing? He's now looking for confirmation bias. Traders, I've done all these mistakes myself, right? looking for confirmation. So he'll go look for articles, videos, and all that sort of stuff to then now look for confirmation bias of why he's right. And then a month later, 2 months later, he's down 40, 50% because he's in a leveraged ETF long the market. And if the market does continue down, and we are start of something big right now, we are going to go through a big, massive crash. And if that's the case, then he's going to be kicking himself because he spent all this time focusing on all this stuff to say what the position he was in is right. But the one thing that mattered, which was the market was saying, hey, I don't care what you think or what these other people are saying. The market is saying, we're in a downtrend right now and we're continuing to step down. And until we start to turn around, we're probably going to continue down even more. So I hope that helps you out today, traders. Anyway, traders, if you'd like to learn more about that sort of stuff, make sure you go to johnsfreegift.com. In that free trading course, phase number 1 is all about the biggest mistakes you're making right now and how to stop them and overcome them so you can start to move forward. Phase number 2 is all about chart reading mastery. Phase number 3 is all about advanced chart reading techniques and some free indicators that I do use on the charts after we go through some simple analysis, right? So some free indicators that I do, my top, just one indicator actually really, my top one indicator you can use for free. I talked to you about how the number one thing that's actually stopping you from moving forward, from making a good money from the markets, but also how, like, you don't need 50 or 100 trades to make a lot of money. You could just literally be 10 trades away from making 6 figures, even if you're starting from $1,000. How does that work? In phase number 4, I'm going to show you. And then phase number 5, I'm going to walk you through the 3 secrets that you must know to become a good trader. I'm going to share with you all the details to my trading system, step by step. I'm going to show you how I scan the markets. So no matter what market you're looking at, you can use that. So link in the description, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.